I secretly loved him for 10 years. Never thought that even having his child was a mistake. He pushed me onto the operating table himself, saying, "Anyone in this world can have my baby, except you." He was so furious at that time, his hands gripping her arms so tightly as if he was trying to crush her bones. No matter how much she cried, no matter how much she explained, he didn't believe her. And then, her mother ended up like this, lying on a hospital bed, unable to get up. It was really just like he said, wishing for life but unable to escape, wishing for death but unable to die. But up until now, she still couldn't understand why her mother accepted this arrangement, coming to the Smith family. If she remembered correctly, her mother had always had a good relationship with Jason Smith's father, and she had even felt a little envious and happy, thinking that her mother had found such a good place to settle. Could it be that she really didn't have any feelings for Jason Smith's father? She didn't believe it. They said it was a mission, but in the end, what did she get? No one from above even remembered her, and her credit was taken by others. But no matter how much she complained, she would always be her mother's daughter. She could never bring herself to let go and let her mother leave this world. "Mom, I'm so tired. I really feel so tired now. Living is so exhausting. The high treatment costs, the pressure from life, emotional setbacks, and the pressure from Jason Smith. All these years, staying by his side, she was even worse than a prostitute. It seemed that even the status of a prostitute was higher than hers. Mom, sometimes I really feel like I don't even want to live anymore. If I just give up and leave you, then no one will be here to take care of you. Will you blame me? I can't go on, and if I can't, I'll drag you down with me. Will you blame me for that?" Isabel Lopez tightly grasped her mother's hand, thinking to herself, she really wanted to give up. In fact, her sleep had been really bad lately, especially after what happened a couple of days ago. She couldn't sleep at all, staying up all night thinking about everything, eventually crying. She couldn't stop it, lying under the blankets, not allowing herself to make a sound, but the tears flowed like a spring. The room was so quiet now. She felt a little sleepy and slowly began to sink, lying on her mother's chest and slowly falling asleep. When she woke up again, it was due to a sudden, unmistakable noise from the room. "Miss Isabel, Miss Isabel, Miss Isabel, Miss Isabel, wake up, wake up, wake up, hurry up and wake up!" The nurse was calling her while shaking her, using a lot of force. Isabel Lopez had been sleeping so well. She hadn't slept this well in a long time. In her dream, she saw the four of them, sitting together at the dinner table, happily eating. She thought, in such a happy environment, she should eat a bit more. However, a voice kept interrupting her. She really didn't want to wake up, but there was no choice. "You." Isabel Lopez sat up, rubbing her eyes. Just as she was about to speak, she saw them quickly pushing her mother's bed out of the room. "What are you doing? What are you doing? You can't take my mom away." She didn't even have time to react. She quickly stood up to stop them, but because she acted too hurriedly, her head started spinning, and she immediately sat back down. The nurse beside her quickly helped her up. "Miss Isabel, please don't worry, they're not taking your mother away. We just received a data transmission showing that your mother had an abnormal situation and needs immediate rescue." "They're saving your mother, not what you think." "What did you say?" After hearing what she said, Isabel Lopez caught the key point in her words. "Rescue? You're telling me my mom is being sent for rescue now?" she asked, a little incredulous. Even though her mother had had some issues last month, over the years, aside from that one time when she was first brought to the hospital, there hadn't been any other emergencies. Take me there." She said this as she struggled to stand up. The nurse helped her, and the two of them walked toward the operating room. She was really anxious, but her legs felt so weak, soft, and without strength. If it weren't for the nurse helping her, she might have had difficulty walking to the operating room, and at least, it would have taken her much longer. "Miss Isabel, I need to take care of other matters now. Please don't worry too much, just wait here." But Isabel Lopez seemed like she didn't hear what the nurse said, and directly ignored her. Her eyes were focused solely on the operating room, noticing the red light above it that read, "In surgery." She hadn't seen those 3 words in a long time, and now, seeing them, she shivered. She took a few steps back, leaning against the cold wall. Everything had happened so quickly. She'd only slept for a short while, and when she woke up, everything had already turned into this? Could it be? No, it couldn't be. It couldn't happen like this. She didn't dare to think further. Her mom had always cared for her the most. How could she really leave her, just because of a few simple complaints from her heart? No, it couldn't be. It definitely couldn't be. She comforted herself like this, and suddenly took 2 steps forward, pressing her entire body against the door of the operating room. Her hands touched the door, as if by doing so she could feel her mother's warmth inside. Finally, reason returned. She could no longer hold herself up and took 2 steps back, sitting down weakly on the bench outside the operating room. Soon, the lights outside the operating room went out, and the doctor walked out. Doctor, how is my mom now?" Isabel Lopez hurriedly walked up to the doctor and asked. The doctor's face was serious, slowly taking off his mask and softly saying, "I'm sorry, Miss Isabel. We've done everything we could. Please prepare for the arrangements. Please prepare for the arrangements. Please prepare for the arrangements. Please prepare for the arrangements." This sentence kept echoing in her mind. No, it can't be," she mumbled, letting go of the doctor's arm and stepping back weakly. Then, the person from the operating room was pushed out. The moment she saw, all her emotions surged. She rushed forward and grabbed the side of the bed tightly. The body was already covered with a white cloth. Isabel Lopez reached out to pull it off. The nurse quickly stopped her. "Miss Isabel, calm down. Let the patient leave in peace." No, don't. She shook her head, saying these words. "Miss Isabel, I know how you feel. Please accept this loss. Perhaps this way. It's what your mother would have wanted. It might be better than before. Rather than her being in a vegetative state, unable to be cured, it would be better for her to rest in peace." 2 nurses held her back, and another person pushed the bed toward the hospital morgue. In the blink of an eye, 2 streams of tears fell from Isabel Lopez's eyes. At her mother's wake, Isabel Lopez knelt quietly in front, continuously burning money in the fire pit. "Mom, I hope that when you get to the other side, you'll be happier and not suffer so much. I'm an unfilial daughter. I couldn't let you continue living. I'm sorry." Just as she was speaking, there was suddenly a sound from behind. "Hey." First came a cold laugh, and then Jason Smith walked up to her and said, "Isabel Lopez, don't you think what you just said is really funny? Is this your prayer? If it is, let me tell you, it's impossible, not a chance. My dad is still below. What your mom did to him, even if my dad shows mercy and doesn't care, I'm afraid when your mom sees me, she won't be able to live in peace." Jason Smith! After hearing this, Isabel Lopez forced back all the pain inside her, gritting her teeth and saying, "This is my mom's wake. The deceased should be respected. I hope you'll show some decency." Decency? Upon hearing those words, Jason Smith froze for a moment, then reached out to turn Isabel Lopez toward him and forcefully grabbed her chin. "Isabel Lopez, what qualifications do you have to talk about those 2 words in front of me? In all of B City, who the hell doesn't know that ever since you came to the Smith family, you've been scheming against me, dreaming of climbing into my bed, always saying how much you like me, how much you love me. But in reality, you're just like your mother, colluding with her, sacrificing everything for your goals. You cheap woman." Jason Smith, mind your words. I'm begging you. Whatever grudges we have, please stop saying anything more. Once this is all over, you can do whatever you want. You want me to die? You can have that too. I can do whatever I want? Jason Smith didn't let her go. Instead, he used more force, squeezing her chin and pulling her even closer to him. "Isabel Lopez, didn't you say you're unfilial? Since that's the case, let's do something filial for your mom. Let her see firsthand what kind of life you're living now, so she'll have it easier down there." He emphasized the words, easier, as if he wanted to crush her like a bone in his mouth. What do you want to do? Before your mom passed, she seemed to want to have a child with my dad, though I don't know if she was lying. At least it was her wish. Since she's gone now, let's fulfill that wish for her.